How you doing? This is the Max Proud channel, and I want to do something a little different today, if I may. I hope I'm not breaking any copyright laws or anything like that. I'm gonna play some material that's not mine. They're definitely somebody else's, and I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to do three bass lines. That's right, three bass lines that changed my life. Yes, this is sort of a musical biography here because this is when I first started, really playing bass. And the first line, bass line that I ever played, the first line that I learned on bass was a bass line to a tune by a group called Slave. It's an R&B act. Came out back in the late '70s. Very nice act, and they had great funky music. And they had this tune called Slide. Okay, I don't know if any of y'all heard that before. I'm sure some have, some haven't. And the bass line went a little something like this. First line I ever learned. That's how it went. Anybody recognize that? Anybody out there? I'm sure you do. Yes. Beautiful bass line. It's the first line I ever learned how to play. And I remember it so well because I was around like 15 or 16 when I learned it. First thing on bass. And my uncle, who was like a bigger brother to me, I mean, I kept playing. When you first learn your first bass line, man, and you're really good at it, or getting good at it, you play it over and over and over. I remember my uncle just being so tired of it. They're like, "All right, smart guy, that's enough of that slide there. Learn something else. You give me a headache." So that was interesting. Another bass line that was really out there, making some noise, was probably the most difficult bass line that I tried to learn at the time. Okay, it was done by a group called Pleasure. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this bass line. It was called Glide, not Slide, Glide. And it's like this. Went a little something like that, a little rusty at it, but that was like a major bass line that I learned at the time. Forget how old I was, but I was very young. And I mean, boy, that bass line kicked my butt for a while. But it was like one of those bass lines that a bass player at the time had to know. It was an ego thing, or you weren't a bass player. It was really something. So I was glad I finally learned. It took me a long time though, because I was just beginning, really getting into it. So that's the second one. It's called Glide. First one was Slide. This is Glide. My group called Pleasure. Okay, and the third one, and one of the most prominent bass lines that came out during the disco era, that every bass player had to know. If you didn't know, you were kicked out of the bass club. Was by that popular uh, pop disco group called Chic. Remember Chic? Oh, they had a lot of hits back then, man. They was like king of disco at one time, and they had this line from this tune called by the great Bernard Edwards, bass player. He's passed on now. We all miss him. Um, it went a little something like this. You're probably familiar with this because with the tune, and later on it was adopted to a rap single that was called pretty popular back then, called "Rappers Dislike." Dislike, Rappers Delight. This is the bass line to "Good Times." Went like this. Great bass line. And there you have it. Three bass lines that were very, very important bass lines that changed my life and really started me moving on the bass guitar. And I'm sure a lot of you guys who came up around the same time as me, y'all enjoyed those lines and played them forever. I still play them. They're very nice. They are three bass lines that a beginner should try. Should try to get into and everything. So, three bass lines that changed my life. A little different thing from the Max Proud channel. I'll see you later. Hope you enjoyed that. Get back.